and today we are going to start a new chapter, that is communication and network concepts. Students, we have this chapter is divided into two parts. Chapter 14 is communication and network part 1 and computer networks part 1. Chapter 15 is computer networks part 2, and we have a society law and ethics. That chapter, if time remains, I will explain. Otherwise, it is the same repetition of last year's uh, concept, right? So I will be giving you certain notes from that chapter, but mainly we will concentrate on this chapter, right? So we have communication and network concepts today. So communication and network concepts means we will be talking about how internet works, how different computers are networked together, connected together, and how they exchange information, right? So let's see. Firstly, what is a network? Two or more autonomous computing devices connected to one another in order to exchange information or share resources from a computer network. So when you connect two computers together, just a moment. Okay, fine. So when you connect two or more network devices or computers together with the purpose, sole intent of sharing data, sharing information, and sharing resources. Resources like it could be hardware, it could be software. Okay. So if you want to do that, you can connect computers together through cables or through some wireless medium, and this forms a network. So you can just see a small network over here in the one sec. Over here you can see the Wi-Fi router. Okay. So Wi-Fi router is what it is, your Wi-Fi router modem, the device which enables you to connect to different other devices. This router is connected through via an Ethernet or USB cable with the broadband modem, and this broadband modem is actually what provides you connection to the internet. Okay. Then you have various other devices. This is computer 1, this is computer 2, and over here you can see that this computer 3 is attached with an Ethernet cable. So it is quite possible that either this computer is a quarantine computer, a standalone computer which is not connected to internet, or it has a Wi-Fi adapter. And it is a laptop, so a laptop already has a built-in Wi-Fi adapter, so because of which both of them are already connected to the Wi-Fi router. So and this computer is connected with a LAN cable, also known as the Ethernet cable, which is a thick cable. Then entertainment consoles, printers. So you can see that some printers are even, they also have a built-in wireless adapter, so you can connect that also. And this is a printer which is connected to this Wi-Fi router with an Ethernet cable. So this forms a small network. So when you connect various devices together in a network to share information, means you want to send email to someone, that is sharing information. You want to chat with someone, that is sharing information. You want to engage into a video conferencing platform, that is what, sharing information. But when you want to share some device, like this is a device, this is a device, and you are sharing a device, right? So that means sharing resources. Understood? Components of a computer network. the components, we have hosts or nodes. What are hosts nodes? They could be PCs, laptops, smartphones, tablets, right? All the devices which you want to connect, even your printer, your speaker, which you want to use, they all are hosts. Servers, servers are, they are large computers which provide some facility or which serve some purpose, right? They store information in bulk, they store data in bulk, they have a very high processing speed, more than one processors are used, and they have several cabinets which store a lot of data. So servers are what? They are large computers which serve some purpose. There would be a client computer, you can send some request to the server and the server can serve that request, give you the required information, right? Client, your computer, the small hosts or nodes, they could be client. Let me give you a small example. You visit a bank, right? And in the bank you approach a person, an employee, and you just say that I want information about what is the balance in my bank account. Or you don't even need to go to the bank for that. You can just, if you use net banking options, then you can easily open your smartphone, just key in something. You are already logged in through your app. The very first time when you log in is you have to provide all your necessary credentials like your account number, and if you want to use net banking features, the bank will provide you, you need to apply to the bank for that. The bank will provide you with some password, okay, and that password is not to be shared with anyone. And you have to, and these days banks are resorting to using some apps, some nice easy to use apps which you have to get configured at the bank. Once it is configured, you don't need to log in again and again. You can easily, you'll get updates regarding any salary, your salary account being updated every month whenever salary is sent to you, or if anybody transfers money to you, you will get updates regarding that. So what is it? Your smartphone is a client, and all the information which you are getting in your all the information which you are getting on your smartphone through your app, that is through whom? That is because that information or data is coming from a server, right? Next is network hardware such as NIC, router, switch, hub, etc. So these all are the additional hardware devices which are attached to your computer, right? NIC means a LAN card, that is your network interface card, which we will be seeing in a short while. Router, switch, hub, these all are different network devices which have different purposes, which behave differently, but their task is the same, that is to enable communication through the network. Next is communication channel. Which channel you are using, which transmission medium you are using, whether you are using cables, and if you are using cables, what type of cables are you using? If you are using any wireless medium, what type of wireless medium you are using, right? Next, software. What software you will be needing? You will be needing an operating system which works on a network, or you will be, like for example, in our school we have a server, client server system, and the server uses Windows R, Windows Server R operating system, which is a network operating system. Network operating system have some additional features like handling clients over the network, right? Handling more than one users and enabling quick transmission of information and data. Also enabling the sharing of hardware devices over the network. So see, some extra features are there within the network operating system. Then you need protocols for that. You need some additional softwares also which would be running, which would run on over a network. All softwares don't work on a network, okay? So for that purpose only, like in our school, we earlier we used to have an Adonai MIS system which was used for entry of marks, okay, managing all the students database, employee database, fees management, and various other things, right? and even your results were generated from that. Teachers had to stay in the school itself, and we couldn't use the second lab because second lab used n computing, where all the systems, we had only one server and multiple clients were attached. So that lab couldn't be used. Why? Because this Adonai server, Adonai didn't work on dumb terminals. Okay, it won't support more than one users. If you are using some an n it didn't support your n computing system, right? So we had to do it on the in the other lab where individual computers were there, so we had to install it individually on each of those computers, and it was connected to the server also, and whatever the teachers entered, it would get saved in the server. So that was a complicated task. So soon the company switched over to a cloud software. So now what you have is a school MIS which you can access online through your school website itself, and that allows us teachers also to enter marks being staying at home, right? Like your half yearly results, how were they declared? They were declared through this cloud software. We all did our mark entry sitting at home through our smartphones, tablets, laptops, desktops, right? And you people were also able to access the results through your devices at home. Network services such as BNS, file sharing, we will study about all these. Okay, all these things, like what all services is your network providing, right? Then is it providing like file sharing system? Is there is, if that is there should be, you might have created a server, and you might have designated that server as a file server which will be storing files, and it will be providing files for download to the clients. Could be that, like that. Or maybe you have designated a server as a print server. Anybody who wants to print something can use your print server. So these all were the devices in a nutshell. Now we will be discussing each of them in detail. So hosts, nodes, or workstations, it's the same. Okay, these are three different names which we use, right? Hosts, nodes, or workstations. Just a moment, I'll just switch on my whiteboard so that I could. Yes. The term nodes refers to computers that are attached to a network. Right now, my laptop is also a node because it is connected to a network. In my house also, I have a small personal area network, PAN. That is, I have a Wi-Fi router, I have my laptop, I have my there are two smartphones, there is a laptop and there is a desktop computer. So the desktop computer is attached to the Wi-Fi router via a LAN cable, that is an Ethernet cable, and all my three other devices, the laptop and two smartphones, they are connected through Wi-Fi, right? So it forms a small network, and all these devices, they form nodes. Next is a server. On small networks, sometimes all the shareable stuff like files, data, software, etc. is stored on servers. A network can have more than one server also. You can set one server as a file server. One computer which is attached to a printer, that can be set as a print server. Like you might have seen cyber cafes usually practicing this. Okay, you might have seen it in the cyber cafes, that there are people who are sitting there, and there are around 6 to 7 computers, but only one computer has the printer. You want to print something, you will send a print command from your client computer, and it will be printed over here. Okay, why? Because if there are 2 or 3 people, like for example, if you have some computers, this is a typical cyber cafe, and there are 4 computers over here, right? And each of them are connected through a cable. And there is one computer which acts as a server. So I'm just designating this one as a server. It looks like an ordinary. You can even make your computer a server, right? अपने कंप्यूटर नॉर्मल कंप्यूटर को भी आप सर्वर बना सकते हो. You need some specialized software for that. So this is a server. Why? Because a printer is also attached to it. A printer is attached to it, right? And the server already stores some files, so it becomes your file server also. So it becomes your file server as well as your print server. Now, any of the people who are using these computers, suppose you are sitting over here, right? A very crooked design of you I have drawn over here. So you are sitting over here and you want to send some print command, right? So what you do is you send a print command and it gets queued up in your server. Where? In the print queue. So what comes? The print command from system 2, then the next person who is sitting on system 3 sends the print command, then the person who is sitting on system 1 sends a print command, and 4 doesn't need to print anything. So you can see this is a print queue. So first system 2 or user 2, user 2's work will be printed, then user 3, then user 1. So this way a print queue serves all the clients which are attached to the print server, right? Each server has a unique name on the network and all users of network identify the server by its unique name. In fact, all the nodes which are attached to the server, they have their unique names. What is a client? Now, 1 second, students, I forgot to. Now, what is a client? I already told you it requests services from the server. Okay. Normally a client computer, these all are the clients. So when you are sending a print command, you are sending a print request to the server. And the server serves that request. If you visit a bank or if you want some information on your net banking, sorry, on your account through a net banking app. So maybe you are using your smartphone over here, right? So if you are using your smartphone, you just place a request, right? You press a button to check your balance. So that is what? That is a request which you are placing with the server. And this server is a bank server which is there located in a safe area in the bank, in a protected area, locked room inside the bank, right? And so the bank contains a centralized server which serves all its branches. All branches might have their own servers and they are connected, and you are attached whichever bank you have your account with. We usually have account.
Your voice is not audible.
Hello, can you hear me?
Yes, ma'am.
Just a sec, okay? Yeah, I have my system connected through Wi-Fi. I don't know why it happened. Acha, Mohit, please stay in the meeting even after I talk to you. Is everybody able to hear me clearly? Just give me a hand raise if you
No,
can hear
ma'am.
me. You can't hear me. Hello?
There's a certain lag in the voice.
Okay, I'll do one thing. Don't go anywhere. I'll just hang up and rejoin, right? Yes. Hello. Can you people hear me? Am I audible?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Others, Mohit, Pratyush, Vardhan, please give me your feedback if you can hear me or not hear me properly,
Yes, ma'am.
because I
Yes, ma'am.
hung up and I rejoined.
आ रही है आवाज मैम.
ठीक है अभी? Is it good to
Yes.
go?
Yeah, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, fine. Where do you want me to repeat from? Just take a look. Although whatever we are doing, that was very basic. Okay, before this I had taught you about hosts, servers, right? So I was just teaching that only. So suppose this is a PC you have, this is a smartphone you have, right? And a bank usually has a centralized server. Okay, and whichever branch you have your account with, your app, mobile app, would be configured with that particular bank server. So you send a request, you just press a button to check your, now everything in your app, mobile app is already set, right? It is, you don't need to log in again and again. You already visited the bank a few days ago and you got your app configured there, right? So what you do is you just press a button for checking your balance, right? And once you, whenever you click that button, you, it takes some time and quickly it gives you your information regarding your balance amount. So when you are clicking the button, that is the request which you are sending to the bank server, and the bank server serves that request in the form of a response. What is that response? It is your balance information, that this is your amount with the bank in your bank account, right? If you don't have a smartphone, if you don't have a PC, you're a poor villager or a farmer, you have a simple phone, right? And you don't know much about anything, so you visit your nearest, what you do nowadays, because of Digital India campaign, so many things have become so easy. A villager can easily visit a CNC, that is a small customer service center. I just, let me, it is consumer CNC or CMC, it is consumer management center, something like that. So it is a rural establishment, and what they do is it's a small computer center where people, where villagers, they go and visit, and they approach for certain services, like if they want to open an account in a bank, they can use it. If they want to register somewhere, or if they want to register for a property or e-registry, they can go, they approach that center. Okay, or some students, some village students, poor students, they want to um, fill a form or apply online to some university or for some competitive exams, they can go there. So you can go there, the same thing will be happening. Or if you visit the bank personally also, there would be an employee who is sitting, so the employee will ask your account number, she will key in the account number, and you will get your balance details. So that is what request and response. A server serves the requests of client computers, right? Next is network interface unit. This is very important. How is your computer connected to the internet? Now, you should know one thing, that your computer is a digital device. It is a digital device which generates digital pulses, right? Which is in the form of zeros and ones. So usually digital signals are represented in this way, where this change, where this transition is usually 1, and this flat region is usually, the continuous region is usually what, 0, right? So this is what, this is a digital signal, and your computer works on digital pulses. 0 or 1, there is nothing in between. Either it will be off or it will be on. True or false, right? उसके बीच में कुछ नहीं होता है. But you know that your telephone cables, your signals are passing through telephone cables. And because telephone cables are what? They are your digital device. They are analog devices which carry data in this form. In the analog form, in the form of signals. Okay, analog signals. So what will happen? They get changed. There is a lot of physics in this, students. So those who belong to commerce section, you need to be specially attentive. Although I will try to keep it simple, I'll not go deep into the physics of it, right? So you have already studied beforehand that your computer understands digital signals, and the transmission medium, the cables, they can carry what? Analog signals, which are electromagnetic signals, right? So analog signals are much different from digital signals. So there has to be some kind of conversion in between, right? So for this purpose now, because your computer, you might have seen there is a thick cable which is known as an Ethernet cable, which is attached to your computer. And where is this Ethernet cable attached? It is attached to your LAN card, which is somewhere fixed in a PC slot, in a PCI slot, in a slot inside your on your motherboard. And there is a small port, a small opening, which normally you see at the back of it. It is somewhat like this. I'm not able to draw it properly. It is somewhat like this. And what goes into it? An RJ45 cable. Something somewhat like this it looks like. So it goes into this port, and this port is just visible outside at the back of your CPU, right? And what you do is you just you just plug in your LAN cable through this connector, this RJ45 connector. The cable is known as RJ45 cable. It is a standard cable standard, right? So that is just connected to this small port. And what this small port is connected, it is actually a port. It's an opening of your LAN card. And what the LAN card does is it converts digital signals of your PC into analog signals, which can be carried on through the transmission medium, right? So the network interface unit is a device that is attached to each of the workstations and the server that helps workstation to establish all important connection with the network. It provides an interface, a junction point through which your computer can become a host on the network, right? Each network interface unit that is attached to a workstation has a unique number identifying it, which is known as the node address. So over here, every network interface unit will have its own specific address, which is known as node address. The NIC is also called terminal access point and network interface card. So these are multiple names. You just need to remember these names. The NIC manufacturer assigns a unique physical address to each NIC card. The physical address is known as the MAC address. Okay, you can also get the MAC address of your computer and of your mobile. So that I'll be explaining later. So now, just a second, okay? Give me a moment. Right. So you can see over here, this is your NIC card, which is attached into one of your slots on the motherboard, right? And this is the port. This is your port. So this is the port within which you just attach your RJ45 cable. Okay. Next is communication channel. Now, communication channel means you need some transmission media. Some transmission, okay, I have a horrible handwriting. Just let me. You need a transmission media or transmission medium to carry on the data. Usually it is in the form of cables, but it could be a wireless medium also. Right. So that is known as the communication channel. So it can be wired or wireless. So let me just tell you, wired media is known as what? Guided media. And unwired media is known as unguided media. Please note it down somewhere. Wired is known as guided media because there is a guide. Okay, this cable acts as a guide. But unwired media is known as unguided because there is no specific physical thing which you can see, right? Wireless is something which you cannot see. Understood? So that's why it is known as unguided media. Next is software. Software layers make networking possible, comprise of network protocols, network operating system. Okay, protocols, as we know, they are the rules which are required to work. Like we use HTTP to send requests or to send data over through the internet. That is hypertext transfer protocol. Protocol is something like, see, we already have different devices on the network. We have different devices on the network. There are different devices on a network, right? And you don't know which user is using which device. I am using a window based Intel, I'm using an Intel processor, okay, i5 processor, and I'm using a window based computer, window based laptop. Maybe someone else is using an AMD processor, and maybe somebody else is using an Apple Mac computer, somebody else is using a Linux based operating system. So different systems, different users have systems with different configuration, and our smartphones are what they use, iOS or Android or even Windows. Okay, although Windows phones are very less in number, mostly it is Android or iOS, right? So we have different platforms everywhere. So everybody has to agree upon a common ground. All people have to agree on a common ground, and they have to conform to certain rules, right? If you just think about it, like there is a hostel, and there it's a boys hostel, and boys usually come, and those boys choose to stay in a hostel who don't have any relatives in the remote town, right? And it is very essential for them because they need to take all their classes while staying somewhere. So it's a place to stay. So now when they come to the hostel presents before them, keeps forth before them some rules, that these are the rules of the hostel which you have to follow. So rules are what? Exactly, protocol. Like these days something is becoming very popular, standard operating procedure or COVID-19 protocol. We have to follow the COVID-19 protocol. What is the COVID-19 protocol? You step out of the house, you should be wearing a mask. You have to wash your hands regularly. You have to carry a sanitizer, keep sanitizing your hands again and again. So these are what? These are protocols which have been set, and everybody is following the rules. And because everybody is following the rules, and there has to be a thermal testing everywhere at every workplace. Any employee who comes has to go through the thermal testing. So because of this, what is happening? Now slowly the graph of active cases, number of active cases is decreasing day by day. People are getting better. Okay, so this is a good sign. So that is happening. Why? Because everybody is following the protocol. Even some people are not following, that's a different thing, but most people are following the protocol, right? So protocol provides a common ground to make different types of devices to communicate with each other. And of course, you also have the network operating system, a specialized operating system which is only designed to handle networks. The network services refer to applications that provide different functionalities over a network, like DNS. It was not BNS, students, it was DNS. And DNS is domain name system. What happens is you have your browser with you. The moment you provide a URL, this is a URL. Why do we know that every website has its IP address, which is somewhat like this. It's a group of 4 numbers separated by a dot, right? So every website has an IP address. IP address is a unique address provided to not only every website, but also every device. Even your modem will have an IP address. Your computer will also have an IP address. So it is generated again and again. Either sometimes an IP is fixed to the computer or it is generated dynamically. A different IP address will be generated every time. So IP address is what it is, a unique address which is provided to every website. Now it is difficult for us to remember numbers. Hence, we find it very easy to remember URL. So the moment you key in the URL in the address bar, वहां पे वो ढूंढता है उसका IP address. What does the DNS server contain? Don't leave, I'll just wrap up with this. Okay, DNS server contains a database of URL and their corresponding IP addresses. So you will be having your URL, www whatever, and its IP address. So now there is a huge connection of DNS server. So whatever you type, whichever URL you type, first the request is sent to the DNS server to get its IP address. यहाँ नहीं मिलता है तो वो दूसरे DNS server पे जाता है. वहां नहीं मिलता तो फिर वो तीसरे DNS server पे जाता है. वहां मिल जाता है. So now it comes back to you, and then from this again it is sent to the actual web server. So all this thing happens within a fraction of a second. That is known as domain name system. You have file sharing, VoIP, that is voice over IP. When you call some customer care service, okay, it automatically it tells you to press some numbers so that you can use some services, right? So that is VoIP. So with this network services, I end today's class. Please do study this. This is a theory chapter, right? So thank you, everyone. See you again in the next class. And yes, Mohit, I want to just talk to you. Others can leave. Just Mohit be here. Mohit, can you unmute?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Just a sec. Let me stop the recording.